The phone rings. When I answer the phone, I'm excited to be answering the phone for who I see on the caller ID. Hello, how you doing? I just knocked your daughter the fuck out. Huh? You heard what I said. I just knocked your daughter the fuck out. My heart racing, racing, racing. Oh my God. What am I gonna do? I reached up, turned every eye off on the stove as I was preparing dinner for my children. Turned those stove eyes off, and I began to walk to the door because I didn't want my younger kids to hear what was going on. I walk outside, and by the time I get out there to my truck, to my comfort zone where I can talk freely. Okay, what's going on? What would make you want to do that? Well, I called her and she wasn't moving fast enough. So I'm trying to reason with him and have a conversation with him. But he riled up. Bitch, you ain't gonna overtalk me today. I said, okay, I'll listen. But on the inside of me, being the hard person that I wanna be, that I can be, right now I'm thinking on the inside of me, all I wanna do is you already know what it is that I wanna do. But he hours away and he got my baby. My baby. At this point, my hands shaking so uncontrollably, and something just told my husband, "Follow her out the door." He followed me out the door, and at this moment, you can know everything to do, but in a moment of panic like this right here, it's like all your senses can go out, and all I needed is just for a moment to slow down. And some may not agree with what I'm about to say next, but I'm gonna tell you my truth. My husband was standing there, and my nerves was so bad at that moment. And he was smoking one of those things, and he handed it to me. And at that moment, everything else that I thought what everybody would think about me or whatever, I did what gave me peace at that moment. And it was one of the few times that I stopped and thought about myself. I hit it, and instantly I can feel myself begin to calm down and just focus on what it is that I need to do. As I'm still trying to hold this conversation with him. Because see what I'm doing now at this moment, instead of going crazy and telling him about what I really want to do to him, I'm trying to listen for my daughter's voice in the background. I just need to hear her voice. That's all. I just need to hear the sound of her voice. So I'm going to keep on talking calm because I'm listening for my daughter. Okay. Well, could there have been another way that you could have done things? I'm not saying necessarily that it was the wrong thing that you did, but you didn't have to go that far as to do that. Bitch, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. You ain't gonna talk. Okay, then. Oh, okay, then. So then say what it is that you need to say. I'm just gonna go quiet and I'm just gonna listen to what you're saying. I go quiet. He still ain't pleased with me just going quiet and sitting there. So I'm just listening, listening, listening. And all of a sudden, click, the phone goes dead. I say, oh Lord, I didn't hear my daughter's voice. So I called the phone number back. He answered the first time. I get him back on the phone. And when he first get on the phone, he calling me every name in the book. And Lord knows I'm trying to stay at peace in this moment. Because all I want to do is hear my daughter's voice. That's all I want to hear. And with the faintest of sound, I hear my daughter saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." And oh God, that sound of her saying, "I'm sorry," broke me into a million pieces. The next thing, click, the phone hangs up again in my ear. And this time I'm calling his phone, I'm calling her phone. Nobody ain't answering no phones. So I send a message. I say, "You have 5 minutes for me to hear my daughter's voice. And if I don't hear her voice, I'm calling the police." I send the same message to her. "I need for you to call me. If you don't call me, I'm going to call the police." At this time, it was already done. I just wanted to know because if you gonna take her out, Lord knows I need to know where my baby is if you gonna take her out. And even if you ain't, I need there to be some push to let you know. You can't call nobody's mama and make those kinds of threats. You just can't do that. So I had the address, but it was quite a ways away. And there's no way that I could have made it there or did anything. And for some reason, I could not find that address. I was calling, calling, calling everybody everywhere trying to get that address. But you know, when you look in, in a panic for something in that way, everybody's asking you questions. And right now, I don't got no time for nobody's questions. I need this information. The whole time I'm in such a panic, the address is right here in front of me because I'm calling long distance. 2 minutes go by. I can't wait. I'm calling right now. I call and I send them to that address. And I didn't know that if you make a phone call to 911 outside of in a different county, they have this thing is where they can tell they have to give report back and forth to you what is happening at that time. In the call, there's nothing that you can really do because if the person that you're trying to send help for, if they just simply tell them, "No, nobody touched me," and they just sit there quietly, when even the officers know that something happened, but they can't force you to do it. As a parent, in that moment, what do you do? Do you risk not calling them because your child gonna be mad at you? Or do you make that call and know that you made the right call at the right time? See, I don't know what was the right or the wrong thing to do, but what I for you, but for me, I made the right call on that night. You see, but the outcome of my situation was my daughter didn't talk to me for a while, and I'm okay with that because as a mother, I did what I thought was best for my child. And I tell this story because there is somebody out here that will get one of those phone calls, and the first place you'll go with it is you threatening the person that's already threatening or have harmed your loved one that's there. You have to know when to roll them and you have to know when to fold them. And all the time that rah-rah that we have on the inside of us, it ain't always the right move. It can be the wrong move and your worst move. Sometimes you need to stop and take a breath and take a breather in the best way that you know how to. You may not agree with my way, but my way worked for me. So this is a cautionary just to tell you that if you get in these situations, don't get on the phone and make the situations worse than what they already are. Be the calmness in the situation sometimes. Sometimes there's a time for that rah rah, and then there's another time when it ain't. You have to put it away and know when to be quiet and move smooth. I've never been able to do that before. But that night, I was able to go to a calm place with the help of my husband and Jesus Christ himself. I was able to go to that calm place. And I'm trying not to go too deep into this story because I always say I'm gonna tell my part of the story. I don't ever want to tell my kids part of the story, but I'm sure you all know that there's a whole lot more to this story. But and of course can sense the ups and downs that one would feel of being on the other end of that phone call. So I'm going to open up just for a little bit so that maybe we can hit on some questions, do a little Q&A or just have some little conversations about it. I know we up late, but let's see what we're going to do. And I'm sorry. I always come in and I tell my story right from the get-go because um I'm sorry about that. Tell my story right from the get go because I'm easy to get distracted once I start talking to everybody inside of the live. So I just like to go back and say hello to everybody and thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate you staying up this late night to come and hear my stories. Hi, Jules, VS. Thank you all for joining. Kelly Vellon. Um, Again, let me see. Hey, Pretty Brown. Hi, Kajaria. Let me see who else. Jules. Yeah, I'm reading the same thing. Cassie, you. Hey, Cassie, you welcome. Hey, Drika Fine. Hi, hey, hey, hey to the Bush babies. Hi, everybody. Thanks again for coming to join. If anybody got any questions, I just like to come and drop my stories that most of my stories are stories that are things that come up in my mind during the daytime, and it can't when I don't let them up off of my chest, it stays in me by not allowing me to rest at night. So I like to release it and I feel like if when I release it it goes to the right place to help somebody else who may be in a situation like that because you don't know I've been in several situations where I've been taught and trained to do all of the right things in the right moments but until you in it, you don't really know. I've known situations. I've known CPR before, but when I've been thrown into that situation, it has gone right out the window until the operator begins to talk to me and tell me, um, this is how you go. It then it clicks back in. So I'm gonna read some of the comments. Mama Bear mode was ignited. Yes, it was. Your husband was at your side to help comfort you but you needed to hear her voice. You hear it, but not at so you did what a caring mom did. Yes. And that phone call was excuse me, let me drink a little bit of water. That phone call was at least 20 to 30 minutes long. I gave the short version of it and um and there was so many ups and downs on that telephone call and I've never had to be in that place before where I control somebody because just the situations that I've been through in life that was like if I say something I mean what I say and I say what I mean. and I'm not going back on it. It's like I always say, don't never threaten somebody with something you ain't gonna go through. So I had made it to that place at one point in my life. Um, and I guess this was the moment when I met balance because my daughter, I felt like my daughter's life was on the line at that moment. So whatever I needed to do, I was able to transition to. I'm doing good, Kajaria. Thank you. Hi everybody. Again, I like to thank you all for staying up late night to come and hear my story. You could have been anywhere else. You could have been in your bed getting some sweet dreams because it's after 10 p.m. here where I am, and I just appreciate you all for, staying up with me, and please like and share the video with somebody who you think this could be good for, because I'm here to help somebody with the pains that I went through in life, and hopefully it can prevent somebody from going anywhere near those lines or going back the other way, whichever way you want to see it, long as it helps somebody. um you're welcome. Hi sister. um Your stories always touch me and they hit close to home. I love your braveness. Jules, I have not been the bravest. There is times I still, almost every time you see me record a video where I'm crying, I have literally had to stop and think about, give it a second before, do I really want to put myself out in front of the world like this, or whoever I'm in front of? And at that one moment, it's like, stop thinking about everybody else and think about what it is that you want to do, whether you're crying, smiling, laughing, whatever it may be. Let it go. And so that's exactly what I do. I come on and I let it go, and for it I sleep better at night. Your stories always touch me and hit close to home. Yes. And thank you, Jules, again for supporting. I like you coming and telling your story. It gets us in tune with you. Yeah, I hate J Mac, I hate coming in and not saying hello, but I want to get right to it because I know if I start talking to everybody right from the get-go, then I won't be able to tell my story. And then somebody ask a question, those questions lead down to a whole bunch of different lines. So yeah, I don't be wanting to do that. I just want to tell that story and then let's get some questions in at the end. Hello, Miss T. Have you ever thought about writing a book? Oh my gosh. If you Shamika Williams, if you only knew how many times somebody have asked me that question, and I keep saying, I just don't want to be the one to sit down and write the book, but I also don't want someone to tell my story, because I've let somebody tell my story for a long time, or stop me from telling my story for a long time. Your stories hit home a lot for a lot of us. I'm happy I was finally able to catch one of your lives. Thank you very much, and I'm sorry to hear that that so many of these stories that I'm telling hit home. And this is, I don't know what you call this, but this is one of those things you really don't want anybody else to know what these things feel like. But also at the same time, it's like amazing to know that, golly, there's somebody else in the world that went through the same thing that I went through. Man. And just to have somebody to understand where you're coming from or what it is that you're talking about is the craziest thing. You don't wish it on nobody, but you also don't want to be alone in it. Um, Shamika, she should put everything in writing and get it published. Um, I've d I've heard that so many times, and I really, 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 really need to, really, really, really need to, how many times people gotta keep saying it, and it's coming from all different directions. Any mother would feel that way. I absolutely hope they do, but you know what? I like to talk to the ones that, when you come from where I come at, sometimes the one thing is to do is to be to rah rah, and probably you add more heat to the fire instead of extinguishing the fire, if that makes sense. And y'all know I'm way up. I'm at the top of the chat, so I don't know if somebody is saying like they want to come up or we want me to put a link out or whatever. I'm willing to do that for a little bit tonight. How long was it before your daughter talked to you? Woo! It was about a year and a half. That It was about a year and a half that she didn't talk to me. Yep, and during that year and a half, you learn to, you know, get yourself stronger. And during those times, I have a habit of when you pray for everybody else. I never thought about praying for myself as much as I thought about praying for other people. So I started to pray over myself, you know, and ask God to protect my kids all at the same time. But I started making my prayers about what it is that I needed to do to begin to have peace in my life. Um, how long? Okay, yeah, I read that one. I am in bed, lol, but I didn't want to miss this. Thank you, Jules. Thank you very much for staying. Thank you for sharing your story. You're welcome, Sean. Thank you for staying and listening to my story. Everyone, please go hit the like button. Help her reach more people. Follow and share. Thank you so much, Deborah. I appreciate that so much. How is your daughter now? She's doing really good. And I don't too much like to touch on their part of their story because I always want to leave it open where they can come and talk about their own story. I'm talking about it from like a mom's point of view of how it felt to have those kinds of feelings. I will be willing to answer questions and things like that, but I never want to really tell my kid's story in a respect for, what if one day you want to come on here and tell your own part of the story? I can only tell about what my experience. Your strength is unmatched. Thank you very much. I'm finding it a little bit more and more every day. Those who've been with you know you're gonna take a break to say hello. So keep doing what you're doing. We are all here for you. Glad that you're going to sleep well tonight. Thank you very much, J Mac. J Mac. It doesn't matter where we come from, our cultures or background. There are too many of us that share the same experience. It's time we all unite as women. Amen to that. It does. It really, and I'm finding that out more and more. But sometimes when you're alone, off to yourself, you you feel like it's only you that's going through it. I don't know anybody else because nobody's talking to me about those things. Nobody has shown me any of that. It's only by letting little whispers out to people that I know that other people was going through this. Definitely not at this magnitude. God brought you out on the other side of it. A strong woman, wife, mom, and friend here to help other young ladies. Yes, goodness. Yes, yes, yes. And I don't necessarily know if I'm all the way there yet because I feel like I still be walking in the midst of certain things and like more things that come, that that can be shared. It's just nonstop. It just get easier and to see it before it comes, if that makes sense to anybody. Um a year. Yes, Cassie, a year. Yep. Um, yep, pray for myself first. That's me. I never pray for myself. I pray for others because in the end it indirectly helps me. Yep, I know how that is. I've never been one to it's like praying for yourself. It's almost like saying it doesn't make any sense. And that's not true. Um I'm late. I apologize. Good evening, Life to Shonda. Good evening to you, Aaliyah. Um yeah, I think it's Alea. I'm sorry if I messed up your name. I have an adult daughter as well, and I'm trying to catch up. But I have had to tell my daughter to keep her hands to herself, and I can't stand it. Um, yeah, I don't want to assume that I completely understand that. So let me and I'm gonna drop the link in a little bit to let some people, but I just want to read through these comments right now. We will continue to pray for you. God bless you and keep you. I love you. Thank you so much, Catherine. I appreciate every single one of you all for coming through and supporting me. Ken Banks, sis, I was definitely praying for you. Thank you, brother. Hey, brother, I am still praying for you. I love you, and you know this. This is a you season, and I'm here for it. Release, breathe, heal, and live. Thank you very much, brother. You are worth it. Pray for yourself. We will help you. I appreciate that, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I definitely be needing the prayers. I ain't gonna even pretend like I don't. Um, Let me copy this link and put it in the chat for you all. Let's see, do I do the right thing? And I did drop the link to see, if anybody wanted to come up and have a little bit of a conversation before I get ready to say goodnight to anyone. Again, I want to say I appreciate every single one of you for being up in here tonight because you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here with Miss Shauna and hear her story for tonight. And anyone that didn't catch it from the beginning, usually when I go live, I come live and I'm telling my story as soon as I come out because once I start getting into a conversation with everyone, then it's hard for me to focus and stay on one story because I have so many of them that run into each other. So Miss Kajaria, it's saying that your I see you in the background. You want to keep your camera on when you come up? Huh? Okay. You gonna stay on camera? I'm gonna let you up. Hi, Miss Kajaria.
Hi.
How are you? Everyone,
Good.
everyone's looking at Kajaria. Kajaria is she's not a little girl. She is actually an adult. um this my little one of my babies right here.
Aw. Hi, guys.
Did you want to have add anything to the conversation, or you was just stopping by to say hello, Miss Lady?
I was just stopping by to say hi.
Oh, okay then. Thank you very much. This young lady right here, I'm trying to talk her into telling her story because she got some amazing stories about her own self. But we gonna keep on talking to her because she got a lot. She's been through a whole lot. Um, and I don't even want to tell any of her stories. She got an amazing story. I'm here to tell you. She done been through a lot of things that some of us adults probably couldn't handle. But I'm gonna y'all be looking for Miss Kajaria. I don't know how she gonna present herself on here, but I'll let y'all know when she come through. Marlene said, okay, I got somebody else in the back. So if you just was coming through to say hello, I'm gonna let Miss Jules up so we can stay on the conversation where we was having tonight, okay?
Okay, bye.
I love you, girl.
I too.
Hey, Jules.
Hi, Miss Shauna. I have to tell you something. I'm not going to keep you, but I admire you.
Oh,
Um, I admire you more than you can possibly imagine. Your honesty and your braveness and your truthfulness comes through every single time you speak your truth. Or you know what? Let me correct this. Not your truth, but the truth.
the truth.
And um, you've touched me greatly with your stories. Uh, Sometimes they're tough. They're tough. And, it brings up some moments in my own life that I have pushed to the back. And I think it's a good thing because then it makes me reflect. So I appreciate you, my friend. And I'm proud to call you my friend.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jules. I mean, you don't when you come from a place that I come from, I'm used to giving, but I it's kind of hard. It's like I don't want you to tell me. So it's like
But you need to hear it.
yeah, and that's the point that I'm getting to. I have a it's very easy for me to give, but it's hard for I ain't gonna even I'm not gonna keep touching on it because it's like it's very sensitive. Like and I don't even know why, but it's hard. It's like for someone to pour into me is yeah. Those who understand. I'll just say that. But thank you. I appreciate that very much, Jules. I really do.
And I appreciate you. And please keep your stories coming.
Yeah, I will.
Keep them coming. And I'm going to get down so you can let someone else up. I
Okay,
love you.
I love you too, Jules. Thank you. Thank you always. Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Reading it some more time. Drinking. I don't know if I put it. I think it. I'm not sure if you can rewind back this time. I think it have to after the live end. So I don't remember what I put it on. Keep speaking your truth. Keep thriving and moving forward. Hey everybody, and again, I thank you all for staying up and listening to my story. Um, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel and send the story to somebody who you think um can benefit from any of the stories. That's what I'm here telling them for. I love that you are so open and transparent. Um, Thank you very much. And it is not the easiest thing to do, but it's the it get easier the more I'll say that it gets easier the more that I do it. Oh Lord, yes, yeah, you can't red ball it back, but you'll be able to go back and hit it as soon as I end it. I think it is. What's the link to the membership? Oh, I don't even have a membership, Drake. Thank you so much for even asking. Lord, Jules had me a little emotional for a second. Yeah, it'd be like that over on this side. Um I thought I had to be a member, but I can't wait till I can wait until it's over. Yes, I'm not gonna keep you all too long. I like to come and drop it and make it real short and sweet so people can get out of it what they can get out of it. And again, I can't tell you all how much I appreciate you all coming through and just listening to my stories and telling and let me know that somebody needs what it is that I'm talking about. Hey beautiful lady, how are you doing? I'm doing really good, Rita. Thank you for coming through and seeing us. So if nobody else wants to join the live, we can all go to bed tonight or wherever we gonna go at in these here YouTube streets. But again, I appreciate every single one of you all for coming over here and staying in this live with me. And if nobody else don't have any questions about this story that I told, or want to talk about something else, um, we gonna say good night. Hearing you get a little emotional triggered my emotional LOL at Jules. Yes, Jules got a lot of stories her own self that we all been trying to encourage Jules to get her a page, get her a page, get her a page, but I think she gonna eventually do it. Jules got a lot to offer. Um and I like to thank VS for always showing support and coming through and just like always just like pushing me to just be me. I've had a lot of people like that, but when you don't know how to navigate in this part of the world, it's always good to have somebody can who knows the background and everything to help you push through. So I just always want to say and show my appreciation to her always. Hey, beautiful lady, how are you doing? I'm doing good, doing good. Um, and you're almost at 16. Yes, I know. You see that. And Cassie, you to be honest with you, when I woke up and started seeing those numbers, I was absolutely amazed. Amazed. I actually had a little bit of anxiety behind it because I didn't expect that. Stay strong, stay positive, stay in your truth. Your peace will come. Good night, sweet lady. Good night, J Mac. Keep it coming. Cassie, you life with Shauna always stir up my emotions, but in a good way. Well, good. I'm glad that it's in a good way so that you can let a little bit of air out of the balloon. Yes, she is the bomb, Jules. Yes, I agree. Taught me I wasn't alone. Your story is traveling. Yes, it is. And you know what? Each one of y'all that's coming in here, y'all helping the story. Y'all helping the story travel. I'm amazed every day that to come on and see. Not that I really want to see that all of these people out here are hurting or have been through um a lot of the things that I've been through. Um and I just stop for a second just to feel how I feel right now in this moment. And I almost feel like when I come on and tell a story, though I have a million stories to tell, it's like I can feel so comfortable after I release a story. And it's like, who I feel peaceful, I feel lighter, and then the process starts all over again where something else comes up. So all I can say is stay tuned for Life with Tashana. That's all I can say. Good night, lovely folks. Again, thank you all for staying and joining in to the live. See you all the next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please, please, please. Thank you all and good night.